Rules to freaking learn. No man can steal your woman. They'll steal your problems. Real women cannot be stolen. They're loyal. Know the difference.
If you ain't married to her and she decides to let another man conquer her, she'd better go with them and leave you alone. You only have one dignity, but billions of women out there. Oh, and don't think that you'll find many wives in the US, though. Sorry, there is no such thing as a faithful woman. There is at least one man on this earth that will steal her from you. It's just that he hasn't found her yet. Yeah, but for real, the difference is that if she does, you will continue with your life like nothing, and that's your real power, not to care if he finds her. Fundamental attribution error. Women are not loyal, period. They're just better at hiding infidelity. Both men and women cheat like it's nothing nowadays. Both will leave or cheat on you when you make them your world. Then they say, well, you shouldn't be there for them in a heartbeat. I will never understand that statement. Just sad, and they think it's okay since it's for their happiness. Happiness should be received when we truly live out the word love. Love has no place for selfishness and disrespect. All about me, me, me. If a guy steals your girl, he did you a favor. A guy who steals your girl is doing you a favor pretty much because he's removing a 304 out of your life. But you know what can't be removed? The content posted online, and Mia Khalifa knows it best.
And I get come up to by this guy and his girlfriend, and we were interrupted in the middle of talking and eating, and he said, hey, Mia Khalifa, can I get a picture with you? And I looked up at him and I'm like, no, we're eating. And I said it just like that. Like it was a rude way, but it was also very rude for him to come up while someone was actively in the middle of a conversation. And after I said that, his girlfriend, who was standing next to him, grabbed him by the arm and said, I told you that wasn't her. There's not enough on her face. Let's go, babe.
Emotional damage.
I told you that wasn't her. There's not enough on her face. Let's go, babe. And I went into the bathroom and cried, and I didn't really know how to handle it, especially because it came from a woman, and especially because I was there for business, and it was something that had nothing to do with the adult industry, and I was just very dejected and embarrassed and felt like they would never want to work with me again.
That must have been really hurtful.
Yeah.
Did they end up working with you still after that?
Yeah, we're still on the contract.
Okay, good, good.
And there we go with the victim playing. What did she really expect? She literally has content on the internet with millions of views doing degenerate stuff. She gave people ammo to use against her. I mean, in life there will always be people that will not like you. Everyone gets hate. That's just how it is. But when you put crap on the internet, crying over comments like that is just silly. Also, I like how she says it hurts more when it comes from a woman. Well, she is an adult actress about to take picture with her boyfriend. Why would she be okay with that?
Do you ever get recognized in the grocery store?
Yes, I don't leave my house.
But
I get
you go to the
followed.
grocery store.
I get
Really?
followed to my car. I get grabbed by men who think that they're entitled to me because they've seen me do certain things on the internet.
Oh my God.
Well, they can feel entitled to you after all they made you what you are, right? You decided to sell yourself and your dignity to satisfy such men, so you turned yourself into an object for them to enjoy as they please. They are spending their hard-earned money for you to do whatever they request, and you are doing it. So why would they not think they are entitled to you? They are practically buying shares.
Yeah, I truly do not feel safe leaving my house unless I'm with a man, because it deters, I would say, 60% of the psychos when I'm with someone who's a little more intimidating.
Yeah.
But 40% still come up to me even when I'm with a group of people or a man who is much bigger than them or...
Really?
Yes.
At the end of the day, women need men more than men need women. Still, men are the protectors of women, especially in dangerous situations like her being chased by a bunch of thirsty guys who just want to get in her pants.
For people who don't know, you used to be in the adult industry. Mm-hmm. So how did you get into that?
I think that the reason I went into it is because I had very low self-esteem. And when I started getting some validation from the people who were working there, I felt like I needed to do everything to hold on to that, which is why I did it more than once. Like, it wasn't just...
Mia Khalifa is blaming porn companies for streaming her content when she was young. 21, actually. Perhaps she was young and she made a mistake, but only she is to be blamed for her actions. At 21, a person is fully aware of their actions, and everyone knows once anything is on the internet, it remains forever. She knew that. She doesn't want to get rid of her past, and that's evident by the fact that she hasn't changed her name yet and continues to post lewd pictures on Insta. Some sources say she continues to go to porn parties, strip clubs.
To that,
Yeah.
which is why I did it more than once. Like, it wasn't just a
Right.
one video thing. Granted, I was only in it for a couple months, but like a couple months is a long time, especially
Yeah.
in that industry. It just took me a while to come to my senses and realize that this is going to damage me.
What was
Extremely.
the moment where you came to your senses about it?
I think when everyone started like realizing what I was doing, when it started to pick up attention and get into the news cycle, and the death threats started to come in.
If she really was afraid of all those threats, she wouldn't continue to be a public person and try to gain as much popularity as she could.
Yeah, didn't ISIS hack your Twitter or something?
They hacked my Instagram when it was at 2 million followers, and then Instagram shut the whole page down because it was just propaganda on propaganda on propaganda.
Jeez, that's scary.
Yeah, it was unnerving, to say the least.
To say the least, those guys are trying to shut her IG page down because she insulted their religions and she promoted tons of haram. You get what you give. That's just the way it is.
And then what was the video that got all the attention?
The one in the hijab.
Did they think it could be a bad idea?
I did, and I think that they're in the mindset of any press is good press.
Right.
So they were looking out for themselves and the clicks that they would get, and I was looking out for me, but was too scared to actually put my foot down after voicing my concerns.
The turning point was when you were hacked.
Oh no, that wasn't the turning point.
Okay, the turning point was before.
Yeah, it was just when all of the news outlets started to report on it, and the more I read what they were putting out, the more I realized that I wasn't being true to myself. I was doing it because for a very, very brief period of time, it was boosting my self-esteem. But as soon as all of that went away, everything would come crashing back down, because true self-esteem comes from within and believing in yourself and loving who you are, not from men or other people telling you you're beautiful.
Right.
If more women and men, for that matter, knew this before getting involved in promiscuity and other activities, the world would be a much better place. However, it looks like for these women, riding the carousel is the only way out of a lack of self-esteem.
And I read you only made $12,000 from it?
Before taxes.
Before taxes?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you did what, like 12 videos?
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of your criticizers have been from girls in the porn industry, is that correct?
Yes, they do not like me.
And why?
I think it's because they look at it like I'm taking for granted what they've been working all their life for. And this was handed to me, and I just threw it away, and now I talk bad about it.
My issue with Mia Khalifa is she enjoys her money and the fame that her porn career brought her. I mean, that is literally the only reason most people even knows or cares who she is. But she vilifies it and her fan base at the same time. It's hypocritical that she accepts the benefits exploiting men's sexual desires brings without any of the responsibility, and shames the men who pay her and comprise her fan base for the same sexual desires that made her money and gave her relevance. She has a net worth estimated around $5 million and makes a shit ton of money on OnlyFans and Findro. So she still exploits her sexuality and complains like it's anyone else's fault.
But like, shouldn't you have the right to your opinion?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not bashing girls who do it. I'm saying I did it for the wrong reasons,
Right.
and it wasn't right for me.
You know, we all have insecurities, and I think what you're doing is you're saying, hey, this is why I did this, because I was insecure. And I think a lot of women will see that, and maybe they won't choose that in the future if they maybe would have, if they felt good.
Yeah.
'Cause a lot of things feel good in the moment,
Exactly.
but then it's not necessarily good for you overall.
Exactly. Once reality starts to set in and the adrenaline is gone, it's a harsh look in the mirror.
Did you ever call like your friends or anything and be like, hey, should I do this?
Not until after, which was also something I feel like I should have done, was to talk to people beforehand. But in the moment, it felt like the right thing to do for my ego.
You heard that, right? It was all about her ego, and look, many women do similar things for the sake of their big-ass egos. They cheat on a guy and even show off the next dude of their roster on social media to get attention. If women dropped their egos and embraced healing, the quality of relationships would skyrocket. And here's another interview. This time she shows her story and how little self-esteem she had.
Let's go through this step by step. How did a girl who was brought by her parents to the United States from Lebanon, your home country, schooled in the United States, clearly smart, went to university in Texas, read history. How did you get involved with the sex porn industry?
I don't think low self-esteem discriminates against anyone. It doesn't matter if you come from a great family or if you come from a not so great background. I struggled my entire childhood with weight, and I never felt attractive or worthy of male attention. And suddenly, my first year of college, I start losing all this weight from making small changes. And by the time I graduated, I was ready to make a bigger difference. I felt extremely self-conscious about my breasts because that was the first thing to go when I lost all the weight. I lost about 50 pounds. I don't know how many kilos that is, or stones.
Well, it's a considerable amount of weight.
Yeah.
It changed your body, it changed you physically.
Completely.
Yeah.
So my biggest insecurity was my breasts. So I wanted to more or less go back to what they normally were. And once I did that, I started garnering all of this attention from men, and I was never used to it. And I felt like unless I held on to it and kind of did what was asked of me or what was expected of me, it would go away. And
I like how she is putting blaming everything and everyone except herself. Actions have consequences. Nobody put a gun on her head and forced her to do porn. The more we empower women like this, the more of them there will be. Is that what we really want? Let's face it, she is doing an interview now because she was a 304. She still is benefiting from the videos she made, and she is keeping her stage name. She quit making the videos because she got the clout she was after and realized she no longer needs to carry on making content.
And after feeling what it was like, that validation and, the compliments for the first time, I did not want that to go away.
Women love male attention. That's just the way it is. The bigger breasts, the surgery, the makeup, and all that stuff is not for themselves.
You were spotted, I think, on a street. I mean, there you were a young graduate wanting to sort of find a job, and you were spotted on a street by a guy who said, I can work with you, and clearly he opened up and said, it's the porn business. What was it in you that from far from running away, was drawn into it?
It wasn't. That's not how it was. It wasn't just, hey, do you want to come do porn? It was more so, oh, you're beautiful. Like, would you like to do some modeling? Oh, you have a great body. Like, I think you'd be great in nude modeling. Things like that. And after I came and toured the studio, it was very respectable. It was a gorgeous location. It was in Miami, in Doral, Florida. It was clean. Everyone who worked there was nice. All of their cubicles were decorated with family photos. Like, it was nothing dodgy or that made me uncomfortable. And after the first time I went in wasn't the first time I filmed a porn movie. It was the second time. The first time was more so, do you want to do this? Like, sign the paperwork, etc., etc.
Why do men tell women beautiful things / sweet lies? To sleep with them, or in this case, to make money by using her.
These guys, they just saw you, frankly, as a money machine.
Absolutely.
But you still had no advisors, you had no lawyer, you had no nothing. So
what 21-year-old has a lawyer on retainer?
I'm just trying to get my head around how stressful this must have been, and whether even now, because you sit here so poised, and obviously a lot of time has passed and you've moved on, but do you think there is some sort of post-traumatic stress that is in you from this experience?
Yes, and I think it kicks in mostly when I go out in public, because the stares I get, I feel like people can see through my clothes, and it brings me deep shame. It makes me feel like I lost all right to my privacy, which I did, because I'm one Google search away.
Yeah. And those images you cannot expunge. You have no right, even though it is deeply personal to you, you have no right to remove them from anybody's view around the world.
Yeah.
Just saying, actions have consequences. At least she admits she was wrong. But interestingly, she still uses Mia Khalifa as a nickname. Women like being wanted. Guys, thanks for checking out this video. Stay tuned for more daily content. Like, subscribe, and comment. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.